Welcome everyone to the Bachelor of Creative Industries. I begin by acknowledging the land that we meet on today, Kaurna country, and paying my respects to elders past, present and emerging. So I have recently taken over the role of course coordinator for the BCI, so I'm learning my way around it all as well as you are. I am a lecturer in film and television and screen, so I know that area quite well. The other areas I'm getting to know, but I have some buddies here. Alex from writing and publishing and creative writing. Luna, our student rep, and Luna's also one of my students, our students. So Luna is fairly across the student experience in this degree. And Nick Godfrey is a lecturer in film, television and screen as well. So I apologise for being a bit biased in that area. That's just for the online people. If anyone wants to ask a question, they can post it there and we will try to answer. People in this degree come from a range of places, so including high school, TAFE, other degrees. Some people have been out working for a while and want to come back to uni. Some people have come from overseas, so it's a good degree in that way. You're going to meet lots of different people from different walks of life. So uni is a great place, as Chris Natalia was just speaking about, our dean, to make connections and meet people, lifelong friends. So when I did my screen degree here, and my friend from that degree, there were just two of us then in that course, and we're still best friends. So, and most of my friends I met, my best friends I met at uni. So it's a really great place to meet your people. And so in order for that to happen, you're going to have to put yourself out there a little bit and connect with the other people in your classes. When you're at uni, in our college, you're going to meet different types of staff who will work with you in different ways. So it includes like academic staff, like we are. There are professional staff who help out with student administration, enrolment, sorting out study plans, ID cards. Then there are staff around the uni who are like technical staff. For example, we have someone who runs our equipment store. So you're going to interact with people in different ways. So I guess it's a bit different from school where you have teachers who are with you most days of the week. You're going to have different people, different parts of the university. The sort of background to this degree is a fairly flexible degree, so that you have hopefully lots of options for topics and you can kind of choose a different pathway through the degree. You can sort of change orientation a bit as you go through the degree. You're not like locked into specific subjects. These are the courses that we have in this degree. So a lot of your topics actually you'll be with people from these different strands, and so part of our goal, I think this is fair, Nick, is to have a range of creative artists and industry people working together in interdisciplinary ways. So, you know, the film and television people aren't over here and the writing people over here. Hopefully we're all in it together. Might throw it to you, Alex. Is anyone here from writing and publishing? Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. You didn't use the microphone. Oh, you did. Okay. Maybe I should.
Yes, I have a yes.
Hello. How you going? Yes, I am Dr. Alex Cothrane. I'm a lecturer in creative writing. Pretty fresh as well, so I'm only just beginning this year as a continuing position, but been around Flinders, studied at Flinders, got my PhD from Flinders. Creative writing is essentially kind of chopped up across a few different degrees, so this is one of them. There's also the BCA, and there's also people just come into it through the BA as well. I'll talk a little bit about all of them, but I think we'll kind of focus a little bit on the BCI here today. The main question we get a lot, and I'm still trying to figure out myself because I said I'm quite new, is what's the difference between the BCI and the BCA if you're a writer? A lot of the courses are the same. So you guys, the ones that put their hands for creative writing, you'll probably see me next week in Creative Writing 1001. That's the big topic that everyone does. But then there's also topics that are only for the BCA, such as the workshops, which are really focused on the kind of nuts and bolts of writing. The BCI are more for people that think they might, they want to be writers, but they're also kind of more interested in the industry in a broader sense. So you'll get courses on publishing and editing. And look, there's this ongoing kind of myth that writers are these solitary geniuses, impoverished, working in the attic on their masterpieces. It's not true. The impoverished part is kind of true, to be fair. The no money part is true. But a book is not something that's written, perfectly delivered, and then kind of someone just prints it up. There's a long process that goes through when we publish things, particularly when we look at some of the more commercial fictions. Dr. Amy Matthews, who's another lecturer here, she's a commercial writer. And she doesn't write her perfect book and then hand it over. She has someone that needs to have vision for what is the market right now. Someone will come to her and say, hey, you write rom-coms. Right now, rom-coms that involve sports are really big. I need these 3 ideas. They're actually shaping her career. So that's a big part of publishing. Editing is a huge part. The books that you read have been through multiple rounds of editing, and the imprint of an editor is almost as important sometimes as the imprint of the writer. So these are the sorts of things that we take you through in the BCI. We also look at some of the issues around the industry. So writing festivals, AI. Creative writing is right at the forefront of AI, or issues around AI. We talk about that in the publishing and editing courses as well. So if you're someone that is, yes, interested in being a creative writer, but also kind of interested in what else goes around the writing area, adaptations to film and television, for example. So much of film and television comes from novels, or as we've seen recently with the writer's strike, once writers go down, the whole industry goes down. If you're interested in those sort of connections, this is the degree for you. If you want to be that lonely writer in the attic, kind of not focusing about the other things, then maybe the BCA is more your style, and you can come and chat to me if you're thinking that you want to swap over. But those are kind of the main differences at the moment, and happy to answer any questions at the end.
Thank you. Do you have any questions or anyone? Okay. So BCI film and television. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure, I can. I'll need a mic.
Okay.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, so as Helen's mentioned, I teach with Helen in the screen and film and television programs. For those of you who are in BCI film and television, can I see?
Oh yeah, he's in it.
A few?
Cool.
All right, great. Well, you'll be seeing me next week on Tuesday, I think, for our first year class film form and analysis. But the BCI as a course has a range of studies classes, which is where you'll encounter me, where we study films, analyse films, learn about history and theory of film. But these are complemented with a series of classes that are hands-on production-based classes in which you'll learn the basics of camera operation, lighting, sound, editing, and then start to make short films in a variety of modes and formats. And that's where you'll encounter Helen's teaching. So collaboration, I think, is very important. So it's good to start to get to know your fellow students right now, because you'll be working together in pretty intensely collaborative projects. We also tend to pride ourselves on our industry engagement. So we have unit meetings each week in first semester where you'll come in and encounter a guest lecturer from the industry talking about their career and their work and participating in a Q&A with you. In addition to that kind of thing, when you get to third year level, which is a while away, but worth the wait, I think you'll get to collaborate on and produce a television pilot of your own in conjunction with Channel 44. Before then, you'll have the opportunity to work in a range of different crew specialisations. So I mentioned some of them previously. Luna, I don't know if you have anything you want to add as our student rep for this particular course about your experience and the course. You should mention you're coming to Hong Kong with me, because that's pretty good.
Yes, so as Nick mentioned, sort of alluded to, there's a Hong Kong trip coming up that existing students are going on, some existing students are going on to go to the Hong Kong Film Festival. I am one of those very lucky people. It's a scholarship from the uni, so that does cover some travel expenses, which is pretty nice. But yeah, no, it's been great being part of BCI Film and Television. I find myself, I have an interest in the practical aspects of like film and TV, but also like in terms of media analysis and looking into the cultural sort of effects of what we consume, what is out there at the moment, why is, that specifically popular at the moment, and yeah, that kind of thing. So it's been really good for me. And I don't know. I mean, I think you'll have a lot of opportunities to try out different roles that you might not have otherwise tried out. And it's a great place to meet people, and then you go outside of uni and you go, hey, you're a writer. And you're like, yeah, I am. And they're like, oh, well, I'm a cinematographer. And you're like, okay, all right, we're cooking here. We can make something together. And yeah, it's a great place to meet people and make some cool partnerships. That's it.
Thank you. And BCI Music, which is, I don't know heaps about this degree. Is anyone here from that? We have a very passionate course coordinator for that. So Michael, and you'll meet him, I guess, if you haven't already. Music production is a fairly new degree here, so I guess we're finding our way with that, but I have had students from that degree in my production class, so that's been really good.
Yeah, so as with all the BCIs, there's an emphasis on interdisciplinary collaboration and also a fairly high level view of the music industries as well.
By now you will have hopefully enrolled in all of your topics. If there are any issues with that, please sort it out this week. Just remember that you have to, as well as enrolling in the topic, you have to enrol in the class itself. So there might be, like in my topic, Screen Production Techniques A, there's a seminar and then there are 2 workshops, and you need to register for one of those workshops. So make sure you probably have 3 to 4 topics each semester. Make sure you've registered for each of those topics that you're doing. Yeah, if you have any questions about that, I can answer them afterwards, or I'd recommend while you're here on campus going to Flinders Connect under the library to get sorted. And make sure, when you make changes to it, that you say that sometimes that save button gets hidden off screen or down the bottom. Okay, so the college is recommending some other things that you need to do. So make sure you're connected to the Eduroam network and that it's working. That's really useful because you can access it lots of places around the city, overseas, different educational institutions. So that's a really helpful thing to have. Make sure you have a fan and a password. And if there are any issues with it, go to the website and look up that link. Obviously, it's not very helpful having it on a screen, but with all these things, if there's a problem, you can go to Flinders Connect and they will help you sort it out. The main thing is to do something about it. If you go to the Flinders website and log into Compass, once you've got your fan and password, you can do that. Hopefully all of you have had a look at that. So one thing I forgot to mention, I'm also a student here, so I have my own Compass page and I went in there and had a look today at all the things it offers me. Make sure that at the top you check that you're in the student mode and then log into there, and that will give you access to all the kind of resources that you need. And same thing, if you can't get in there or it's not working, go to Flinders Connect. It's essential that you are able to access this. Really important thing is your student ID card. And if you were here last year, you need to get a new sticker on your student ID card. So you can access that through Compass, through the Order My ID card. Having said that, when I went in to look at mine this morning, that tab didn't show up for me, so I don't know why, but hopefully you can all see that. Screen production students, you definitely have to have that because your student card is how you access the edit suites and borrow equipment from the store. So I don't know why there's some reluctance from students to get that physical card, but put in an effort to do it. The other thing I would say, on the back of your card, it's got some important phone numbers, including the number for security. And on the front here, it has your student ID number, and underneath your picture is another number, which is what we use to access edit suites and things. So you definitely need that card.
And
Yep.
get it. For no other reason, it is very important within the uni, but I will say it is also very handy to have if there is a place that offers a student discount and they say, please present your card. So you should do that for that
Yeah.
reason also.
And also bring it to uni.
Yes.
It's my classes, students are like, oh yeah, I left it at home. You really need it in my topics. So orientation week, these are the things that they recommend you do. So make sure you're enrolled, that you have your ID card, have it go onto your topics on Flow. Make sure you have access to all of your 4 topics or whatever, however many you're doing. My topics have got all the information for the topic visible there, so you can have a look at what we're doing each week. Make sure you can access the internet, both at home and at uni. I would recommend going to the library, having a quick look while you're here today, because that's just a nice place to go hang out. So Flow is our Flinders Learning Online, is what that means, and that is where all of the online topic content is located. Pretty much like what you have at high school, just a uni version of it. Every lecturer sets up their Flow site a bit differently. We have templates that we work with, but everyone's got their own take on it. So if you can't find things in your topic, definitely ask your lecturer or tutor where it is or how to work it. Any questions about Flow? Have you got any questions there, Nick?
No, nothing coming through online.
Right, so next week is the first week back. What do you need to do? Most importantly, go to your classes. If you have any enrolment issues and you're not quite sure about it, go anyway, because week 1 is where you get all the important information to set you up for the semester. So very important to be there. If you have an access plan, it's good to send that through to your lecturers so that they're aware. Let them know what your specific requirements are. Have a look at your timetable. So in the timetable view, there's a weekly view and for semester topics, and there's also non-semester topics appear separately. So if you're in an intensive or non-semester topic, make sure you look at both views of the timetable. That can be confusing. Make sure you're checking your uni email regularly. Like I email my students most weeks. Do you?
I tend to make flow announcements, but they come through the email.
They come through
anyway.
the email anyway, yeah. It's super important that you're regularly engaged with that. Try to get familiar with the layout of the campus. It's pretty big, having said that, and it will take you a little while, but at least probably look where your first classes are so you know how to get there. During term time, especially the first 6 weeks, car parking is really challenging on campus, and so you need to allow a lot of time. It's not practical to think you can just get here 15 minutes before your class and go to it. You'll likely be late doing that. So come a bit earlier, hang out before your class. Luna, do you have anything to say about that? I think it's quite challenging getting to classes.
Yeah, I mean, in the early on, before the census date, usually the sort of few car parks going up the hill closest to like humanities and that are just generally always full unless you get here at like 7 a.m. So don't do that. Why would you do that? I don't know if you want. So I usually tend to park up the top of the hill and then just walk all the way down, which does suck, but I tend to allow time.
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah.
I'm a 3rd year and my thigh muscles are great.
What's the best room finding app these days? Is it still Lost on Campus?
Lost on Campus, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there are any other ones, but yeah, I recommend that.
That's saved me a few times.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a really great app. It's like not made by Flinders or anything.
I was
but-
unprepared, by the way. That was totally natural and
Yeah, good segue. Thank you. But yeah, Lost on Campus, get that app and choose Flinders Uni, and that will really help you. And if you're lost, just ask people. Most of the doors, like this door here, in tiny font above the door, it says the room number.
Yeah.
So it can be hard to find.
And this might be like obvious, it wasn't to me initially, but the room codes, so social sciences north, this area, 2 means it's on the second floor, 1 means it's on the first floor, guys. Incredible. Yeah. Super helpful when you figure that out. It took me embarrassingly long.
Then in week 2, hopefully you're up and running. You've probably met a couple of people in your classes, which is really good. That's a chance to start venturing out a little bit further. The uni puts on lots of events in the first 4 weeks, so try and get along to some of them. Become familiar with the equipment, the software, whatever is specific to your degree, what you're going to be needing for that. So for example, in my topic, there's a workplace health and safety quiz that students have to do in the first few weeks. So it's a good idea to do some reading around that, do the quiz, get it done, and then you'll feel good about what you've done at uni. All topics are encouraged to have something submitted, a draft, a quiz, something by the end of week 4, so that everyone knows how to use the system and we know who's actually in the class and so on. So expect to be doing something in that time. Do you think that's fair? Yeah? In week 3, by then you'd be definitely starting to work on your first assignments. It does take a little bit to get going in topics because obviously you need a little bit of information in order to start the work. So, but by week 3, you should definitely have it in your diary that you're going to be working on something. Luna, do you want to say anything about that? Is that fair? If you can't come to class, let people know, especially in this degree where it's often very practical. We're working on tasks together. The rest of your group need to know if you can't be there. And it's helpful for me to know who's not going to be there. And then by week 4, you should be well on your way. You will have handed something in or be about to. You'll be familiar with your topics by then. Hopefully you know by then whether you want to stay in those topics or you need to move, and all those kind of problems are ironed out. There's a lot of help available at uni, and I find students are reluctant to get involved with that. So I'm going to spruik some of them. So there's amazing health facilities here on campus. You can see a GP or a nurse here. You can speak to a counsellor. There's a 24-hour support line you can call. And it's located in that building, which is up near the registry building. But there are other kind of wellbeing places around the campus as well. So yeah, if you feel like you're starting to get into a hole or it's coming undone or whatever, reach out to people then. Don't leave it till it's too late. And I'd highly recommend talking to your lecturers. Like, I put in a lot of effort to get to know my students and be generally helpful if I can. And I think that's the same for my colleagues. Everyone wants to help and be involved. These are some specific examples of things that the uni has going, but there are many, many more. They're just the ones that they're talking about today. So if you feel like you will connect with any of them, reach out. These are all based out of Oasis, which we are really lucky to have. We're one of the only unis in the country with a wellbeing centre. Oasis is near Car Park 5, near the Drama Centre. And it's a beautiful environment there. There's a kitchen with fridge, cooking facilities. You can just go there and make your lunch or have a cup of tea there. It's free, all of that. There's a grand piano, some guitars you can just play. There's a beautiful little veranda you can go and sit on. There's bean bags. If you're in a class and you're just feeling really overwhelmed or upset, it's a really nice place to go. And they will help you if you want help, or if you just want to sit there, that's good too. Most importantly, at Oasis they run this community market every Thursday from 11 to 1, and they have mostly free food, some that you pay for, and it's to help students eat and live well. Highly recommend that. Do you go to it, Lynn?
I don't, but I have walked past it many times. I will say though, it does get very busy. So if you're going to go early-ish, I don't know if that'll help, but
They have bread and baked goods, which is the most popular part of it. And so they give out one batch at 11 and another batch at 12. So they tend to be the key times. But if I were a student, I would definitely go to that. And I don't know if any of you are international students or know international students, but they are also an amazing service with lots of help for students. So there's just a few examples. And these are some examples of type of spaces and services here on campus. So then the Student Hub has a lot of kind of different areas and helpful people around too. The uni has scholarships, lots of them, and these are not necessarily based on your grades. So they have scholarships just to help people who need help. So if you feel like you're in that category, hop onto the website and have a look. Definitely apply for it if you think you need some help. Connect Week, which is next week, the uni are putting on some events, hopefully fun things to do, a way to meet people. So you can go to the orientation tab. I think you can get to that through Compass on the website. So go there, have a look, get involved. Very important dates. So the end of week 2, which is not next week, the following week, is the last date that you can enrol in a topic. And there is no way around that, okay? So if you want to do a topic, you have to sort it out by then. With respect to enrolment, you are the only person who can enrol or unenrol from topics. We can't do that for you. We can help you do it. We can point you in the right direction, but you have to actually do it yourself. Then this thing here, the census date, which is an unusual name, I think, but that is the last date to withdraw from a topic. So that's when they do like the count of who's in topics and degrees. So by the end of week 5, if you are struggling in a topic, you don't like it, it's not for you, you've got too many topics, whatever the things, you must withdraw by week 5. And as I said before, you're the only person who can withdraw. So there's usually some emails going around and meetings, conversations in week 5 to iron out some of these things. So that's what the census date means. Any questions about that? There is another date at the end of week 9 where you can withdraw and you won't get a fail against your name, but you still will have been in the topic.
And you've paid your fees. If
Yes.
you withdraw before the census date, that means you haven't paid fees for the topic. So that's an important financial consideration.
If you're worried about any of that, you can go to the college and talk with someone there. You can go to your lecturer, like all of us are familiar with this, and know who to ask for help. So, and don't feel bad about it. Like it's, there's all sorts of reasons why you might need to withdraw from a topic. The uni have an email newsletter that comes out called Ping that goes to all students. So that's pretty useful, I find, just keeping up with what's going on around the place. They have prizes, competitions. There's often some useful kind of things going on, like for example, they offer a service where you can get a headshot taken and they promote it through Ping, that sort of thing. I also follow Hey Flinders on Instagram, and I learn a surprising amount about the uni through that I would think I would know being a lecturer, but no. And yeah, as I keep saying, don't be afraid to ask for help. Is that a good summary? Luna.
Hi.
how's it going?
Do you want to you could sit on the
Yeah,
table
I'll
or
sit on the
stand
table.
up or
I'll be very
prominent?
very casual about
Do you have any questions for Luna as a student?
It's cool if you don't. I'll do some I'll do
You
some
can fill the
crowd
available space.
I'll do some crowd work first and see. So who are you? Which of you guys put your hands up are in film and TV? Cool. All right. Writing and publishing. All right. Music. I know it's you. I don't think anybody else. That's okay. You're a hero. Festivals and arts production. Is that what it's called? Nice. And are there any that I'm missing?
Digital media?
Digital media?
Oh,
Nice.
They have their own session today. Are you
Oh,
going? Yeah. That's why I didn't cover it here. I'll
That's
find
right.
out for
Welcome.
you when and where it is. Give me a sec.
Yeah, we will convey this information to you. Are there any other degrees that I completely forgot about that I shouldn't have?
There's a diploma,
That's
but I don't imagine.
All right, I think
Put
we've
it
got
there just
everyone.
in case we had someone from there. No?
So I'm doing film and television. I have experience in a lot of other areas though, acting, performance, that kind of thing. I do write occasionally, not as much as I probably should, but that's fine. And some music, so I'm kind of, I'm interested in all the things. I think the BCI is a great space for learning holistically in the creative arts. So you get to experience a lot of different aspects. You get to sort of tailor it to what you're interested in. If you're like, yeah, I love film, but I also am really interested in the writing side of things. Yes, there is a space for you here, absolutely. And other examples that are just not coming to mind now. But if you have a lot of varied interest in the creative arts, you are going to be A-okay. Any questions?
Luna, if you were to cast your mind back to when you first started, are there things that you wish you had known in the first year or first semester here at Flinders?
Probably that all the new students are just as scared and anxious out of their mind as I was. I think that's a good tip for talking to people, is just realize that you're on the same page. Can't think of any particular specific information that I'm geez, I wish I'd known that. I didn't.
Where was your first class?
Where was my first class? the first ever one?
Yeah. Was it big or small? Do you remember? Or one that comes to mind?
Yours comes to mind because you're in the room.
We had
Which room was that in?
70 people there or
Yeah,
something?
it's big enough. It's good. Going to classes is great because you're getting your money's worth of the degree also. And also, you get to meet a lot of people. Group work can be tough, but it is a good way to sort of be forced into social interaction if you're particularly averse to that.
I try to look after the introverts.
Yes.
I have a special empathy there.
Yes, I think that goes for a lot of the people who are staff in the creative arts, very aware of the outcasts. If you're not like other girls, then you'll be fine. Nothing for me? Okay. That's fine. That's all right. Feel free to come up to me after if you have any questions that you don't particularly feel like yelling out in front of the entire room.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, do you guys have any other leading questions for me? Helen and Nick?
I don't think so. If you're worried or wondering where any of your classes are next week, ask any of us, check in with us. It might be good if the writing and publishing people just quickly say hello to Alex, and film and television people say hello to us. The VEED session is on now, so in North 2, if you wanted to go around there and see them, it's probably fine. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you all for coming. It will just chat for maybe 10 minutes, and then Luna will take you back down to Fusa, I think.
Yes.
Yes, or to the plaza. Yeah.
One of those places. They're close, so it's like,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
Cool. Thank you all for coming.